Hi there everyone, it's Bren here and thanks for joining me again this week. When this video goes out, it will probably be on Friday, which is a day I've been really looking forward to because it's forecast to rain. Where I live, it hardly ever rains, so when I see it in the weather forecast, it gets me really excited, particularly in autumn and spring when I do a lot of planting. I love that natural rainwater. I don't think you can beat it. So a few days before it rains, I tend to put in a lot of my seedlings and transplant different clumping perennials in the garden because I think that rainwater really helps settle them in. Well, in this week's video, the usual, showing you around what's going on, but I am coming to the end of my eggplants. So there's quite a few of my different varieties of eggplants that I'll be harvesting the last off the plants, and then I'm going to dig them up and try and overwinter them. I've never done this before. I think it is successful in the area where I live, so I'm going to pot them up and put them in the greenhouse, and hopefully that means by springtime I will have eggplants developing a lot sooner than if I just grew them from seed again. And I do find a couple of little surprises hidden under the dirt under one of my vines as well. So let's get straight into it and we'll start off in the back garden. This has got to be my favourite view of the garden at the moment. So I'm starting off here, and it's only going to get better and better as those oranges on the orange tree start to ripen up. As you can see, the zinnias, some of them are going to seed, and I've kind of given up deadheading them at this stage. And where you can see that brown pole there, there's a whole row behind the zinnias of sweet peas. So I'll be pulling the zinnias out very shortly, and those sweet peas will take over. I'm delighted with how much growth my lime tree has put on this year. I actually started to pick a couple already. I've got one yesterday, two yesterday, and I've already used them, so I'm going to grab this one here now as well. Delicious lime. Next up, I'm going to grab a couple of these kiwanis in here. I've been picking these as I need them, and they seem to be pretty happy being left on the plant. So I think it's working out quite well that I don't have a big glut of them at once. So I planted lots of peas a few weeks ago on St. Patrick's Day, and they're all starting to pop up now. These ones are sugar snap peas, sugar bun. These ones will just get up to about 90 centimeters, so that will form a nice barrier here. And I have my whole load of sweet peas there. I had to do a second sowing because for some reason the first lot didn't germinate very well. But it's filling out a bit better now. And I just noticed in here, look at this. There's two of my little gem pumpkins that I never noticed before. I must have forgotten to harvest them. They were probably hidden under the kiwana vine, but that's a nice little find, isn't it? I don't really know if they're going to be very edible because I think you're meant to eat these when they're a lot younger. But if anything, at least I have a couple of more that I can save seeds from. Since I've been back from holidays, I've desperately been trying to weed this garden because it has been a complete jungle. I'm getting there slowly but surely. I moved this nice little succulent arrangement onto the table here. I need to tidy it up quite a lot. I've been thinking about my succulents now that now the mornings have started to get a lot colder. I'm going to have to start probably covering them and putting the cover on my greenhouse, which I still haven't done yet. And I moved this plant over here that I have in a pot to show you. Absolutely love this one. I'll just grab the tag so you can have a look at it. Rusiala. I saw this a few years ago growing in outside a child care centre, and they had a whole row of it, and it was absolutely magnificent with its pretty little tulip type flowers. So I will eventually be transplanting this one out into the garden. It's the orange tree. There's a few oranges that fell to the ground. I'm going to pick them up and see if I can save any of them. I can always just use the outside to make for the zest. But another thing that surprised me here are these two plants. These are both I've grown from seed. They're annual pincushion flowers, and they've only really started to take off now. So I'm going to leave these here as an experiment and see if they will last the winter. I know my annual or my perennial pincushion flowers do well, so hopefully they will. So I'm over here now in the raised veggie garden area. I planted some of Yesterday I planted some of my garlic in here. I had actually put some seeds of spring onions, but nothing happened. So I just plonked the garlic in there. The spring onions had their chance and it's gone now, so there's a new crop gone in. So I'm going to harvest a few things in this area now. Pick a few radishes. I see some in here. There's a big one there. It's probably a bit too large, but I'll roast them and they'll be fine. I'll grab a few more now as well and pop them in the basket. Really enjoy hunting for these. It's really good fun. Oh, look at this one. Oh, see, this one came from a mixed pack, so there's a nice surprise, a lovely white one. To harvest is this, which I showed you last week. I've given it an extra week on the plant. I'm going to pick this off. This is the Rosa Bianco eggplant. A couple of capsicums here to harvest, and one of them just snapped off. This one here as well. One's really tiny. Okay, we'll see how these go. I don't really know how edible they're going to be because they're so little, but I'll give them a try and see. Grab these two as well. A few more eggplants in here. I will harvest all of them as well. I can see about 4 of them. There's another one back there as well. Now pretty much all those eggplants have finished for the year, so I'll pop them in there and that will be it. Spent a bit of time in this area of the garden yesterday, over here in particular. To show you, this is where I put those the whole row of calendula seedlings, and I put some cornflowers in here. But last week I got this, one of my favourite bulbs, the Dutch iris, reduced to $15 for 40 of them, which is a bargain. So I got those bulbs and I intermingled them in here. This is a bit of an experiment. I'm not quite sure how it will turn out, but I thought, you know, it would look nice with the blue iris flowers, the vibrant orange calendula flowers, and then the cornflowers here too. And then probably by the time the Dutch iris flowers die off, these calendulas will fill out the space more and will cover the stems. Well, that's my way of thinking. I mean, I'm absolutely no garden expert, but I just wanted to see how it would turn out. The harvest so far has been dominated mostly by eggplants, but I'm going to head into the front garden now and see what else I can find there. I know I have some more capsicums and I have some zucchini, some nice pretty flowers as well. Look what's here to greet me every time I open the side gate. These striking looking chrysanthemums, just in time for Mother's Day. Next up to harvest I have these cute little mini yellow capsicums. I'm going to pick them off now. Down in here is a golden zucchini. I'll see if I can just break it, snap it off. Oh yeah, I was able to do that. I'll probably let that one get a bit too big. But I harvested one yesterday and I put it in like a pasta dish, like a ragu, and it was perfectly delicious. There we go, that's the harvest for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm over in another area of my garden that I think you'll like to have a look at again. Each week this is getting better and better with the lovely petal path off the Camellia tree, which is almost entirely covered in flowers. Okay, well until next week, thank you so much for watching and happy gardening.